Hello, everybody. It's me, Curtis, from the Epic Marvel podcast and various different Epic related uh, communities on Facebook and Twitter and that kind of place. Well, I've got something for you today. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm trying out a new mic and I don't know if it's working properly or not. I would love to know if you can hear me. So just leave me a comment. I've got a few packages here and I'm going to open them all up. Haven't seen them yet, haven't opened them up yet. One of them contains the brand new Fantagraphics Atlas era collection. Yeah. Oh, great. Everyone is saying that they can hear me. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay. So Marvel seems to have no real interest in reproducing their own Golden Age content. Of course, we all love the Epic collections that collect all of the Silver Age stuff, the Bronze Age stuff, and the modern stuff now. But yeah, not much in the way of the old Golden Age collections. And so they had, of course, the Submariner and the Captain America stuff. And they did do the Marvel Masterworks for a while, but they stopped those lines quite a while back. And of course, Captain America and Submariner are going to be the most obvious choices for Marvel to hold on to because they're recognizable characters. But what about all of the rest of the Golden Age stuff that Marvel did before they were Marvel, when they were called Atlas and when they were called Timely? Well, Fantagraphics has seemed to Fantagraphics has seemed to pull out an interesting deal here, where they've licensed the Atlas era comics, and they're going to produce their own collections. I think that's great. I love Fantagraphics. I think they do incredible stuff. They do have a different restoration process than Marvel does. It's not going to look the same, but if this means we're going to get the content, I think that's very, very cool. So I have a few boxes here. Like I said, they're not all the Atlas books because there's only one out so far, but the rest of them do happen to all have collections of Golden Age material. And so, do you want to see what's in here? We're going to take a look. I've been buying them from Indigo, and they ship them right to my door. But let's have a look at the first one here. We'll get to the Atlas stuff soon, I promise. But you might be interested in some of this other stuff too. Weird fantasy. Who here loves the EC comics? This stuff is really, really cool. Short stories, all horror themed. Each volume has sort of its own little genre, if you will, and this one's kind of more fantasy or sci-fi related. And let's see. I have another thing I'm gonna try here. I'm going to use my phone to try and take a little closer look. So let's see if this works. Um, this is all stuff that Dark Horse is producing, and they did it way back before in hardcover, and now they're looping back around and they're doing it in soft cover now. And there's some tremendous artists here. Let's see if we can get a little look. And Gene Simmons does the introduction. Here's some of the contents. You can see we have work from Al Feldstein. Marie Severin does all the colors here. William Gaines does a lot of the writing. Jack Kamen. What are some of the names here? Joe Orlando, Wally Wood. Yeah, just some really neat creators. But let's take a look at this. This is just classic stuff. And a lot of the comics back in the Golden Age were just anthology stories, where the 8-page stories and such. And and they're just, look at all the words there. They're very wordy, but very interesting at the same time. A lot of fun, some tremendous artwork. And all of these stories, even though they're short, kind of have pack a punch at the end. There's always some sort of little twist, and it's all fun. So this collects 4 issues, and I believe each of these issues were about 64 pages or so. And they're very cheap in terms of um, in terms of the price point, because they're paperbacks and they're pretty thin. I think about a 200 pages or so. Yeah, 213 pages. They keep all of the ads, the old ads as well, for the old other EC comics that were being printed at the same time. But that's cool. This is Weird Fantasy Volume 2. Let's see. The price point is $20 US, 25 Canadian. Contains issues 7 to 12 of this series. So the first one contained the first 6 issues, and this one has the next 6 issues. So there you go. That's what it is. Okay, that's the first one. Now let's see what's in the next box. This one got tape on it. I didn't bring my knife because I wasn't expecting that. But I think we can still tear it up, tear it apart. Okay, so if my calculations are correct, this is another Dark Horse book. Creepy. This is volume 3 of the series. Again, this is like the EC ones. Dark Horse published all of these in hardcover, and now they're going back and doing them in paperback. And I was not collecting these hardcovers, so I'm happy that they're going back to the beginning and collecting them again. It is about 300 pages. This one has a price point of 25 US or 34 Canadian. And let's take a look inside. Let's see here. Try this one again. Creepy. Collecting issues 11 to 15. These ones, this is a magazine size. Um, and this is from Warren. They published a whole bunch of horror comics as well. This is very different because it's black and white. And I find that I like this stuff even better than the EC comics. The stories are creepier and the artwork is just amazing, especially in the black and white. And let's see if we can get some of the artists here. This is a Frank Frazetta cover, if you can tell, see his artwork there. And we have, let's see here, Gene Colan, Reed Crandall, Steve Ditko, Frank Frazetta, Alex Toth, Al Williamson, Wally Wood, Gray Morrow, Joe Orlando, John Severin, like so many great names doing these stories in here. And they're just incredible. I have the first 2 volumes of this already, and they are really, really great. Each story is unique and interesting, and sometimes quite horrific. This stuff it is it's just a lot of fun. So here you go. This one has 4 issues. This is what I was thinking. The other one had 6 issues. This one has 4 issues, and because the issues are quite large, large size. Here's a Ditko story here. I can tell from that artwork, pretty sure at least. But can you believe this? This stuff looks fantastic. Love the black ink wash. Dare I say, looks even better than Spider-Man. That's what I think. So yeah, do yourself a favor and pick up these ones. Very cool. Oh, that's interesting. There you go. Um, okay, so let's try the third book. Where did I put the other one? Over here. I think this one's more of the same. Eerie Volume 1. This is the companion series to Creepy. They're publishing these concurrently, and so again, they're starting the paperback one. This is the first one that just came out. A lot of the same stuff. I'm not exactly sure what the difference between these 2 books is, other than just the name of the title, but it's a lot of the same sort of stuff. So I don't think I'll give you an inside preview of this one because it'll look very similar to Creepy. But there you go. They are both the same. They have a very similar design on the spine too. I like that. Very simple, very elegant. Looks great on the shelf. Okay. I promise we're going to get to the Marvel one soon. But this one is not, this one's different. Donald Duck. I've been loving these Carl Barks ones. I'm a few volumes behind, so I just picked up this one. I think there's 2 more after this that have come out, and I love Donald Duck. Carl Barks is such an excellent, excellent storyteller, and he does one-page gags, 4-page stories, 5-page, 8-page. Sometimes they're 20-page stories, and he knows his pacing so well. They're funny, and the long adventures are exciting. And even though it's just a bunch of ducks, it's just I find it quite as exhilarating as any old golden age superhero comic as well. Really great. So let's take a look inside this one and see what we can see. If you've never experienced Carl Barks, I really invite you to check it out. You can pick up any one of these volumes. Doesn't matter. They you don't have to read them in order. Um, they're all great. His drawing is simplistic. Excuse me, it's simplistic, and but he knows his pacing. Like I said, he knows all of the just how to tell his story. His compositions are great. His action is on point. His expressions are fantastic, and he's just a funny guy too. So a lot of these stories, of course, revolve around Donald Duck and his nephews Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Uncle Scrooge had a comic going at the same time, and part of the Carl Barks library is collecting the Uncle Scrooge stories. Although, oh yeah, here he appears in a couple of these stories too. Um, but this one is specifically a Donald Duck volume, so it's going to be mostly Donald Duck stories. Is the other one's different. Oh, look at this. This is interesting. Usually we don't get the recoloring. You can tell this one's recolored because of the gradient fills in the background. Usually we get just the original colors, but this one might be a modern comic anyway. Let's have a look. Yeah, this doesn't look like Carl Barks, so that's probably why the coloring is different. Oh, maybe it is Carl. No. Wow. Daisy Duck gets her own pages there. I'm gonna have to check the table of contents then on that one because they look very, very different. This is some of the later stuff in his career. That could be why. Yeah, there. Yeah. That's right. Don Jips. Yips. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that, but yeah. So there you go. Script and layouts by Carl Barks, finished probably years later by Don Yips or Jips. But there you go. That's why it looks a little bit different. It is a modern comic, but all the rest of these, I hear that some of these later volumes have some censoring because Disney has really cranked down on the censorship of, or like just taking out and removing some of the more uncomfortable elements to these old comics. They've really cracked down in the last year or two to the point where they just don't let things fly anymore, even in these old collector collections, which is too bad. But they got to protect their image, I guess. Okay, everybody, now the moment you've been waiting for. I'm going to open up this last box. It has the Marvel one in it. I'm excited. I haven't seen this either. This is it's a beautiful book. Adventures into Terror, the Atlas Comics Library #1. Really looking forward to reading this. This is again like the EC comics and like the creepy and eerie, a bunch of short horror stories. All comic book companies were doing stuff like this, and each one of them had their own brand of or stable of artists. A lot of them crossed over. Now the series editor is Michael J. Vasallo, and he did a book called Marvel at War, or was it Marvel at War or Atlas at War? I can't remember. And I slept on that. I should have bought that because I think it's getting a little out of print now. But um, he's now in charge of this whole series of Atlas reprints, and so that's exciting because I think he does some really, really good stuff. Great researcher and does a lot of. I don't know if he does the restoration himself or whatever, but let's take a look inside this one because I am very interested here. Oh, I'm ignoring the comments. Sorry. See, this is I'm I'm getting all of the creepy and eerie archives, missed out on the hardcovers. This is the best way to get it. I agree. Also, will save some room on your shelf. The Ditko, I got the Ditko collection of his creepy and eerie work after Steve Bissetti post about it, but I've been getting all the softcover creepy and eerie collections. Yeah, that the Ditko one. I think there's an Alex Toth creepy collection as well. That's probably worth getting. What are the contents of Adventures into Terror? Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Adventures into Terror. Trippy end papers with the Atlas logo there at the bottom. Comprising the first 8 issues of Adventures into Terror from November 1950 to February 1952. There's the Marvel logo. So we know that it's him. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can get a look here. Whoops, I'm going sideways. Sorry. Adventures into Terror Volume 1. We have a couple of stories here from Russ Heath, Ed Winiarski, Mike Sikowski, Christopher Rule, George Klein. Here's issue 2. Chick Stone does art, not just inking, but the whole art. I'd like to see that. And the third issue here, cover by Saul Brodsky. Gene Colan has a story in this one, it looks like. Hank Chapman. A lot of names I'm not familiar with. Very interesting. Okay. Oh, there's more. Don Rico. There's another Gene Colan. Paul Reinman. Joe Manili. He's getting his own collection pretty soon. Oh, Basil Wolverton does one in here. That's cool. Hi, Rosen. Joe Sinnott gets the art in one of those. That's cool too. There we go. And there, it looks like there's going to be some biographies at the end. Okay. Michael Vasello does a nice article. I'm going to have to read this because I'm sure it's going to be interesting. Very cool to look through. Look at that. Then we get into the issues. So it looks like this is a bigger, it's got a really big margin. So the actual comics, this is actual comic size right in here, but the book itself is bigger. But they give us wide margins, but that means there's zero gutter loss, that's for sure. Um, Look at that. They have old advertisements. That's cool too. They kept the old ads. Let's see. Bubblegum, double bubble. Looks like the restoration is really nice in here. It's not, it's just restored. It's not recreated. So we do get, some off-register stuff or some imperfections in some of the color because this is just restored scans that they've cleaned up a great deal. It's not like the way Marvel does it is they strip all of the color from the black line and then digitally color everything back again. But this one isn't. That's not how they're doing these ones. This looks like an Ant-Man origin story there, which is kind of how he got his start as in one of these collections. Nice cover with the bright red, bringing out the characters in this small room. That's very cool. Very cool. You can see the limited color palette they had back then. It's only pretty much 4 colors. Well, yeah, obviously it's 4 colors. Lots of reds. In fact, these oranges, it's very orange. And I'm not sure. That's a cool creature there. I think this is going to be a really neat book to read, that's for sure. I love these covers. The covers look so good. They even have the things at the bottom. Subscribe now, $1 for 12 issues. Can you believe that? That's how these were all 10 cents, 10 cents each. 12 for a buck was a good deal. The man who was deaf. I should do a dramatic reading of these sometime. Who'd be interested in that? We can go panel by panel. Maybe we can get a couple of people to do some voices. That'd be kind of fun. Really cool. Oh man, Where Monsters Dwell. That's a different Marvel title. I wonder if this issue is this story is a reprint, or maybe the When Monsters Dwell is a newer title that reprinted these stories. I'm not sure. There was one in the 70s where Monsters Dwell, but also one in the 50s, I think, too. Oh, the artwork on this is really great. Look at that. I love that face. You know, some people really love Batman and Superman in the Golden Age, but I would take these collections over Batman and Superman any day. I just love the old short form horror storytelling. I think that it's just such a neat thing. Okay, here are the creators. All of these names I'm unfamiliar with. I'm going to read up and learn all about them. There we go. That is a look at our collection right there. What's the cover price on this? 35 bucks. Probably, I can't remember how much I paid for it in Canada, probably like 50 bucks. But there you go. So that's our live stream for today. Golden Age, tons of Golden Age comics. Golden Age Marvel, Golden Age Dell, Gold Key, Golden Age Warren Publishing, Golden Age EC Comics. That's going to be some great bedtime reading right there. I hope that all of you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching it. Let's see. Do we have any more comments? Hi from Brazil. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Great book, says Jeff. I'm getting most of those. Thanks, Kurtis. You're welcome, Jeff. Yeah, all of them I recommend. I mean, I haven't read these specifically, but I have read previous volumes of these series, and they're all so much fun. So this is another good lot. I don't have any epics this week. I haven't seen any come to my door yet, so we'll have to see what's going to happen with the epic collections. Hopefully, I'll get another box soon, and I'll do another live stream unpacking that. But in the meantime, I've got something to keep me going for a little while. So, Adventures into Terror is Volume 1. I think Venus is going to be Volume 2 of the Atlas Comics Library, and then they have a couple more that have been announced already. And I think that they should be coming later in 2024, early 2024. Anyway, there you go. If you want me to do a deeper dive into any of these, let me know, and I can do a special live stream about them, or make a special video or something. But otherwise, that's it. Thanks everybody for watching. And let's see here. I'm gonna play you my theme song to see you out. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.